It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and it's finally time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you live here from the Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. There were technical difficulties delaying the start of the program, but fear not. We're going to do the whole thing for you today.
We are. We apparently got struck by lightning during the storm last evening, so Tyler and I have been frantically relaying messages back and forth across the span of the lot, and now it's working.
Yes,
so,
it is.
But it's not over yet.
No.
It's not over yet, and we've got some other networking issues to deal with, but we worked through it sufficiently enough to be able to get us on the air. And that voice you heard, by the way, is Tyler Blankenship.
Yes.
He is the guy who actually is the hands-on guy, makes it all happen. Tyler, thank you this morning.
No problem. It's good to be on the air.
Dressing, man.
Yeah, so we're only 20 minutes late.
Right now, I'm just like, let it ride.
Yeah, well, we got on the air, so grateful for that.
Yes.
Also grateful to have, as always, Austin Lowen, and sitting in for Caroline today, Adam Chapman. Welcome in, guys. Good to see you both today. Glad you're here.
Oh, sorry. I did
Tyler,
it again.
You did it again. You muted us.
I do it in order, but we didn't do the weather.
We
So,
should
you know.
know.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to the weather, but I thought I would kind of jump ahead since this is not a typical open.
Correct.
That's right.
Pardon me. So anyway, let me go to the weather now, and guys, we'll be back with you in just a moment. And here it is on the big board. Today is Saturday, the 19th of July.
Wow.
91 degrees for the high today, and partly cloudy conditions, and a little less, only a little less. The heat indices will still be above 100 degrees because it's humid. We got a lot of rain last night. We'll get to that in a moment. Sunday, 94, 75, partly cloudy. Monday, 94, 74. Tuesday, perhaps some afternoon thunderstorms. Wednesday, 96, 76. Thursday, 94, 75. Perhaps scattered thunderstorms. Friday, 95, 75. And, of course, that's a week out, so we'll just see how accurate that actually is. I think the thing to be mindful of in this day and time, and seems like a theme I'm talking about regularly on the show, is the nature of how these storms develop seemingly out of nowhere very quickly and can dump a huge amount of rain. Of course, we'll reference back to the unfortunate events in Kerrville, Texas, a few weeks ago. Just this past week in Lakewood, and I couldn't find any notice on any of the news services around. But there was one area that got 4.2 inches of rain in a little more than an hour. So, it can be very isolated. It can drop very fast, a huge amount of rainfall. So hopefully everyone in that area is doing well. So just be weather aware. That's the thing, try to be apprised of what your situation is, and it's just a little bit different. So keep that in mind. If you're in a lower lying area, you need to be extra vigilant.
And don't enter the water overflowing bridges or roads.
Turn around, don't drown, as the phrase goes. So that's a very prudent 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Looks like near normal. So that means probably not going to get a lot of rain. However, we saw last night it seemingly developed out of nowhere. There was some mention that it was a possibility, but it really jumped on quickly. So statistically, we had 2.72 inches of rain here at Bates Nursery. Now, other parts of town didn't get near that much. I'm sure there's some that got more. We've had 3.02 for the week, 4.72 for the month, and we're all the way up approaching 41 inches for the year. So we've had well more than our annual rainfall already this year. It's pretty amazing. So and it's currently about 75 degrees here in the Music City. We've got we at least have most of the weather station up working. Not all of it is functioning properly, but it did give us enough to get our data updated. So we're grateful for that, and we're also grateful for you tuning in, albeit 20 minutes behind schedule. We're doing a patchwork operation today, and so far so good. So we do. Yeah, I am a redundancy freak, but that doesn't mean it comes without trials and tribulations.
That's redundant.
I'll say it again.
That's redundant. Okay.
Anyway, let's bring Austin Lowen and Adam Chapman back in here. Welcome in, guys. Glad to have you this morning.
Good morning.
And
Good morning.
always good to have the general manager on board because he's the guy that he's response able. He's able to choose his response to a variety of situations, and that's kind of the nature of life. We deal with what comes along, and so we've had network issues this morning. At other times of the day or a week, it's other issues.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's not about what happens to you in life; it's how you deal with it. So, what are the gardening things, guys, that you think people need to be aware of right now?
Well, aware of
Moisture.
Yeah, we got great moisture last night. I know at my house, it was great.
Yeah.
Just a really good downfall. I was driving home yesterday, and I drove in my driveway, and I looked at some of my trees in my side yard, like the trees that I just planted, and I'm like, man,
I got to get out
y'all
there.
look dry.
Yeah, you gotta go out there.
And I can't pull a hose, y'all. That's too far away. Like, there ain't no hose going to reach that unless I connect like 4. Okay, it's way out there. So they have to just like get it when they can get it. And last night it started coming down, and it was a good straight down rainfall. And I'm like, them trees loving it.
Yes, sir.
We had the same thing. Over an inch for sure. It might have been 2 inches last night.
Yeah.
It was good.
Came down great. The lightning was fun to watch. My kids were out with me watching. Yep.
It was loud.
It was loud. It was an event. But hey, I'm happy with it.
There is no show like Nature's Light Show.
That's
Very
right.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Boyd commented on Facebook. Good
Emily,
morning.
we saw you this week.
That's
How are
right.
you?
She said 3 inches of rain last night in East Clarksville.
All right. Yeah. I did see last night when I went to bed that Montgomery County was under flood.
Flash flood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't really had time to check various gauges, but there was a band of showers that descended across Davidson County and went from Williamson County west to maybe even over into Rutherford County. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it got the way.
You guys got, but it was a continuous band that looks like it was 40 or 50 miles wide and maybe 10 or 15 miles or 40 miles long and 10 miles or 15 miles wide. So it was concerning, and it didn't sit there. And that's really what that storm in Lakewood I was talking about did. It just kind of sat
Stalled.
there. And when you have those stalled cells that that don't move, that's where the likelihood for flooding.
Flash flooding. Yeah.
Well, I know Emily, who came out the other day, Emily Boyd, she has at least close to 100 hostas in pots.
Wow.
So, and she showed me pictures. She had her friend build her some shelves for her hosta shelves. It was beautiful, and I'm sure she loved that rain last night, and I know the hostas did.
Yes. Indeed.
Good job, Emily. She always buys a hosta when she comes out
And
here.
she's obviously an avid gardener because that's a lot of hand watering.
Now, what would you say that? What is there a term for somebody that collects hostas? Is it a hostarian?
A hostarian, that works. She's in the Hosta Society.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, you need to be in the Hosta Society. She's like, oh, I already am.
I mean, there's rosarians.
As rosarians, yep.
Could it be a
Hostarians.
hostolite?
A hostolite.
I
That
can see
works.
that. All right.
Either way, they're looking great. Good job, Emily. It's great to see you the other day. So what's next, Tyler? What are you doing over there?
What
man?
am I doing over
Yeah,
there?
what are
I'm
you doing over
switching
there?
cameras. I'm monitoring the
You're always doing
feeds.
something. I never know what he's doing. I feel bad. Like, I come here and I just like sit down and wait because I can't be helpful at all with anything tech related.
Yeah.
Tyler's a
It's very
madman.
helpful when you just stay out of the way. That's
Sometimes,
exactly. Yep.
You have other areas of expertise. That's just not one of them.
No, it's not. But that's okay.
Well, today was crazy. But this week, one thing that I've been doing, and I just wanted to say, like, little victories. Like, I keep saying that too, like, to keep myself on focus, on task for my gardening issues. But just spending 5 minutes at the end of the day in the afternoon, walking around and just picking any weed that I see has been so good for maintaining the overall look of my garden. And I just kind of like wander over to an area and maybe I'm just like, oh, you know what? That's a really nice looking flower. And then I'm like, oh, there's crabgrass next to it. I'm going to get it. And then after that, it just sets me off on a little thing where I'm like kind of chasing these little trails of weeds. And then once that area is clear, I'm like, that's enough. I'm hot. I'm starting to sweat. I'm going to go inside.
Yeah. That's good for you, Tom. That's a great plan.
Yeah,
I wish I would do
It's
that.
a good habit to have, and that's kind of what Rachel and I do when we get home. Like right now, we're harvesting almost a quart of blackberries a day almost. So you go
and
out
other
there.
things. I saw your picture you sent the other day. Yeah, you had great tomatoes, peppers.
Yep.
I even saw you said the green beans in there. I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Truckloads of cherry tomatoes.
The rain was beneficial that we received last night in a great many ways. However, you most certainly will see an influx of weed growth as a result of it. Well, growth of everything. But weeds will pick up a lot because substantial amount of water at depth over most of the area. So good things to be mindful of. There's no shortage of projects to do in and around the garden. So where do we want to go from here, guys? We can
get into some questions.
Yeah,
throw a question out there.
Joyce calls her a hostaholic.
A hostaholic, Joyce.
All right, there we go.
Nailed it.
Emily
That's
said
the best
crazy
one.
hosta lady.
Emily, you're not crazy. You're just a hosta lady. A hostaholic.
Hostaholic.
I like that the best. We're going with that one. Joyce, good work. Proud of you.
Hostilians.
And Austin knows you best. So definitely trust that.
Yep, definitely. All right, Tyler, let's get a question out there.
Okay, so
Itching for one.
Here it is. Can perennials survive in containers through the winter? Are there some that are more suited for this? Are there any special care tips?
Mine
The
do.
answer is yes.
Most
definitely. Yes. And yes.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, there's some
And
perennials that are,
maybe
truly perennial, hardy down to as low as we can get around here, and it's totally fine. Now, there's some perennials that aren't quite as hardy here, and David always talks about plants in pots are a little less hardy than what they would be in the ground. Okay. But that's why we're here. We can let you know which perennials are truly going to come back in pots. My mother has had a perennial hibiscus in the same pot for like 6 years.
Wow.
Okay. And you would think like hibiscus, that's the state flower of Hawaii. Like it doesn't seem like it'd be all that hardy. Not true. Not the case. Extremely, extremely hardy. Keeps coming back in a pot every single year by our pool. Probably blooming now. Mama, hope you're doing good. If you got a picture of that hibiscus, send it to us. But yeah, perennials are great in pots.
Well, I know that, at our house, we'll talk about these coneflowers, later in the show.
Yep.
But, my wife, Rachel, she has all kinds of coneflowers and almost all of them came back.
Oh, yeah.
So, the thing is, I would say as far as special care, one thing you can do if you don't feel good about if one is a little more or a little less hardy than others, you can try to insulate them somehow with straw or mulch or whatever, and not even take them out of the pot. Just pile it up around the pot,
Since they're in containers, just carry them into the basement or garage.
You can also do that, yes.
That's the good thing about plants in containers too. Is like David just said, you can move them in. And the good thing about it is that when they don't have green foliage up, like almost all perennials, there's a few that are the exception, but for the most part, all perennials lose all foliage through the whole wintertime. So when they don't have foliage or green, they're not actively photosynthesizing. They don't need sunlight. You can put them in a dark basement through the whole winter. And then whenever it gets warm in the spring, you bring them out and give them sun.
Yeah, I've got one balloon flower. I think we bought it the year we moved into the house. Comes back every year.
Yeah.
And it just sits there. Gorgeous.
It's a very hardy plant.
Yeah.
Yep,
And of course, the main thing to keep in mind when you have things in containers, if they're going to be out during cold weather, as with all plants, is to water thoroughly before the big freeze arrives. So that means you got to be somewhat apprised of what the expected weather conditions are going to be. So just be mindful of that. And I know it's counterintuitive that you go, well, won't that water freeze? Yes, just trust me on this one. Just water them thoroughly. It keeps the roots from desiccating, from drying out, and it provides insulation because it fills those pore spaces that are occupied with air with water, and it does provide significant insulation.
32 is 32.
That's right.
All right. Let's
Okay.
move on to another perennial suggestion question. Replacing row of daylilies next year, pink azalea and holly behind, thinking catmint. Other suggestions?
That's good.
Nothing wrong with Catman.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's going to bloom all summer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Especially if you cut back,
Mhm.
a couple times during that span. Dianthus is another good one if you want to have something that's going to have a really big show and some evergreen foliage actually in that case. So,
Yeah.
And there
Definitely.
are some colors of the dianthus blooms that'll blend with the azaleas.
Yes. Yeah.
There's so many colors with dianthus nowadays. My God, I mean, just take your pick on dianthus. I mean, there's also there's salvias out there. We brought in plenty of echinacea in here.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about perennials, especially sun-loving perennials, y'all. I mean, catmint is one, and it is great for sure. But y'all, like, how many options do we have? 50 at least.
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, yeah. So you've got all kinds of options, and any of those are good. Or you may when you come out, you may see something that you like better.
Exactly.
That'll work. So.
That's what's fun about coming to our sun perennial department, or really any of our departments. It's like, okay, all of these plants are perennial and they live in the sun. So which one do you like? Is not what I like. What do you like? And then we explore those options and we find the best spot for you.
Right.
And if you're going to plant perennials, what you going to use, David Bates?
Well, you're going to use Earth Mix Garden products. I mean, that is if you want to get the best results. And Adam and I have worked closely together over the last couple of decades on really, and we continue to perfect the recipes, the formulations, ratios of the inputs, all of the things that create the very best soil and amendment products. It's what we strive for at Earth Mix. And to that point, consistency is a big part of that. I kind of got interested in doing this whole organic soil thing, Josh, because I found that when you would buy bags of soil that were either very poor quality or there was a lot of inconsistency one bag to the next. And what is the target for Earth Mix Garden products is to have the highest quality, 100% organic. That means no chemical additives at all, only endo and ectomycorrhiza fungi and humic acid, which are things that Mother Nature provides. We just add additional to provide that organic support and that vitality that plants can utilize using the tools that Mother Nature naturally provides. So those are in there, plus the very finest inputs that are available. When you put all that together, you get Earth Mix Garden products, which provides a level of success and vitality to the soil because it is a living mix. There are all the good things from earthworm castings to mushroom compost to the supernatural compost, which has many of these things blended in with it. And those products are used downstream in other of the products. So we really work hard at having a process that ensures repeatability and consistency, no matter if you're buying it by the bag or by the scoop or super sack. It's the same product every time. And the mechanical processes that we have introduced in the last year with our big Terra Extreme provide that same quality of particulate size. That's how big the particles are, Josh.
I knew that.
We run them through that, and it takes all the clods out. It's a very fine, homogeneous, consistent product. So there are many places to find Earth Mix Garden products. And if you want to find that out, go to earthmix.net and click on the Find Earth Mix tab. And what you'll see once you arrive there are all these pins on a map, highly concentrated across Tennessee, Kentucky, northern Alabama. There's also one location in western North Carolina. And if you go way out west, Crested Butte, Colorado. And so we're really glad to have
Rocky Mountain trees.
Rocky Mountain Trees and Landscaping. So please support and check out those folks. We're really proud to have them as a part of our Earth Mix family of sellers and suppliers. And when you deal with these folks, that you're dealing with quality folks that are going to give you the very best of all the things from a soil amendment and plant product standpoint. So, remember this. What we like to say is success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix Garden products. And Josh, what is it you like to say at this
I like
point?
to say that it takes 4 things for a happy garden:
Okay.
sunshine, water, plants, and Earth Mix.
There you go.
Hey,
We really
that
try
thing
to
surprises me every week.
We
I
really
forget
try
about
to take the work out of gardening and increase your success, hopefully in a near exponential fashion. And the results have shown that that's very much the case. So thank you again for giving us a moment to talk about that. And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
What's in bloom? With Austin.
Good morning, everyone. What's in bloom? This week, we have, obviously, you see Adam. We do not have Caroline this week. We have to give a shout out, the ode to Caroline. Last week was the ode to Bridget because she had a loss in her family. This week, Caroline had a loss in her family. She lost her dog of 13 years. Klaus was his name, and it was her best friend. She was his best friend, and she is emotional about it, as we all are. We all know that's one of the worst things that can happen, losing a loved one like that. We all deal with plants here, and it's really easy to kind of just get rid of plants if they're not doing well or they die or whatever. It's okay to get rid of them. When it happens to a loved one in your family, a pet of that many years, it's awful. So Caroline, our hearts are out for you. We know it's rough. So here we go. I'm doing this for you. The ode to Caroline. Let's talk about Caroline's favorite flowering plants that are in bloom right now that she's, I guarantee, got in her garden. Let's start with her favorite annual, maybe her favorite annual. I don't know. Zinnias. Hey, your zinnias are blooming, Caroline. I know they are. You just throw them seeds on the dirt and they just pop up. Your black-eyed Susans, you love them. I don't. That's okay. This is the ode to Caroline, not me. Okay, black-eyed Susan, looking great. Echinacea, you brought tons of them in the room today, all different colors. Adam's going to tell you all about it later. They look great. And Caroline loves Stokes Aster. That's random, but hey, Stokes Aster is a great perennial plant, okay? But she loves it. They're in bloom right now. Her phantom hydrangea, I guarantee that thing's blooming right now. You know it. Phlox. She loves her phlox. She's actually got a phlox right outside the building right now. She's going to take that home too. It's in full bloom. Smells good. Hey, apple blossom jeans, petunias. Only she knows what I'm talking about with that. Caroline, you're welcome. I made you buy that this year. It was a 4-pack. And you told me the other day they're swelling up nice. Love it. Apple blossom petunias. Great. Catmint, yours is doing well, Caroline. I know because you cut it in half after it was done blooming. Okay, so now it's reblooming in your yard, looking like a little shrub. And then Caroline, like Emily Boyd, made a little hosta bed this year, and her hosta bed is money, y'all. She did all sorts of varieties. She's becoming a hostaholic herself. They're looking great in her yard. She did a great job with that. And then her favorite tree, let's go on to the mimosa. Wow. It's still blooming, y'all. It's been like a month, okay? Still blooming, looking great. But you know what? Let's go into Caroline and what she actually does. She's our greenhouse manager here, okay? She deals with all the tropical indoor houseplants and not to mention houseplant, but everything, okay? She can do it all. She's a great horticulturalist. But her favorite when it comes to, she has potted plants, okay? For the most part, she has to grow plants in pots. What does she have? What's her favorite? What would Caroline say the goat of all plants would be? Cacti. Cacti. She is a cactus girl, okay? I don't even know how many cactus she has at her house. It's insane. Probably 80, 100, maybe. I don't know. It's crazy. But you know what? Cacti kind of is the goat when it comes to potted plants. You never have to water them. I mean, literally hardly ever. We try to mimic nature as much as we can. If you water too much with cacti, you're going to kill them. If you don't water them too much, they're great. The easiest plants ever. She got me into cacti a little bit. I've probably got about 10 different, I would say, cacti starts at least that I need to pot up. Caroline, I'm going to bring those in. You're going to help me do that. But anyway, they're just the easiest. They're the goat. Caroline, you are the goat of humans. You're a human goat. We all love you. You're a human goat. I hope she's not listening right now. She's going to be mad at me. No, but for real, our hearts are out for you. We love you, home girl. Just stay positive, okay?
Yes.
It's all good. We're here for you. Love you. Thank you. That's all I got.
We love you 15 bird baths tall.
That's right.
Yes.
I got to say something about that. It's whenever Adam gets to his spot later, we're gonna say something about that. It's gonna be funny.
All right.
It's gonna be
I
funny.
want to give a quick little shout out here to some new friends that Renee and I met this week from Moretrace, Tennessee.
Cool.
Kat and Pierre, and really wonderful, interesting folks. We had an extended lunch with them a few days ago. Really great folks, and it's interesting the folks you can just randomly encounter, and so we're looking forward to the friendship in the future with them. So, and they might be watching this morning. So, really enjoyable getting to meet you guys, and I look forward to the future in that. So, let's proceed.
Yeah, I just also want to jump in and say that I've stepped in and helped edit the podcast version of the show for Caroline this week, but she does an amazing job with the podcast. If you ever listen to that, which is out every Wednesday, she really deserves all the praises for getting that out and delivered and cleaned up. And we also do a little intro on it, so it's fun while we're at it. And then one other thing I wanted to jump in here, a little blooming monkey tail cactus that we have in the houseplant greenhouse.
I saw that yesterday too.
So it's what a crazy bloom. They have cacti have some of the most exquisite blooms I've seen.
They really are super cool. Like, you know what's cool about cacti is that they're only native. I didn't realize this. I learned this a couple years ago. They're only native to North America in our desert regions of the like. That's it.
I didn't know that either.
Yes, that's the only way they're truly native. And I'm like, North America, baby.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Right
cacti.
on.
I got one particular cacti that I'm interested in. It is a commonly known as a blue screw. It looks like or in Espanol, tornillo azul, which is it is a spiral-looking, upright growing cactus. Now, I only seem to find it, and this is what I would interpret as perhaps a slightly contradictory remark. I can find it only in
Excuse me again.
South America. Is that an intentional cough, or is that just involuntary?
That was involuntary.
Anyway,
It's okay.
Anyway, that's my current favorite cactus. It's really a nice upright grower. If you have a cactus in a spot where you can provide enough protection for it, doesn't have to have a whole lot, like Austin was saying, if any at all. It's a great addition to a container garden, maybe something you might need to move in. But like all cacti, they are a little sticky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll get you.
Be
Be careful.
Let's jump over to another question here. Let's see. Is it better to plant fruit trees in the fall or the spring? How about it, y'all?
Fall. I mean,
I'm a
for
fall
me,
guy.
planting trees is, you can plant any time of the year, especially when you're planting container trees or container shrubs, any of that stuff. So, but, we usually say, my thinking on it is when you plant in the fall, you're going into a dormant season and you're not going to have as much stress on the plant over the winter because it's going to be dormant. You usually get more rain in the winter. It's, the ground's wet and you get root growth. You may not see anything on top, but the roots are going to, get a really good head start. So,
Yeah, you just nailed every part of it. I mean, you're right. Like a plant that doesn't have leaves over the wintertime, which all fruit trees are going to drop their leaves over the winter. That's the time to do it. I mean, I'm definitely a fall guy when it comes to that. Now, like Adam said, can you plant them in the spring? Certainly.
Sure.
But when summer comes around, you better keep an eye on them.
Yep. You're going to be babysitting them a lot more.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
And anything to that point, anything that you plant in the fall is almost a full year ahead as far as establishment goes of anything you plant in the spring. So it definitely takes the work from the maintenance aspect out of it so that you don't have that frequency and the need for water. It doesn't eliminate watering, but it does reduce the frequency of it. So, you can get through a lot of dry periods by fall planting in the spring, maintenance-wise in summer, that you couldn't do if you planted in the spring. So, we're not trying to talk people out of that.
No.
It does make life a lot easier.
Plus, our selection in the fall is really, really good.
yes,
I mean,
really
that's
good.
really when we bring in the trees. So
Yep.
won't be long. That roughly, early mid-September, and
we got about
trees start rolling.
6 weeks or so.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
All right, let's jump into a live question we got from Joan on Facebook.
Live. Hey, Joan.
That's right. If you deadhead Endless Summer and Ruby Slippers, will they get more blooms?
In the summer, yes. Ruby Slippers, I don't think so. I don't think there's a reblooming Corsifolia. I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of either. And if you're really, really quick about it, you might get a little blast.
But it would be later in the summer.
Yeah,
because
it would.
Because they really, I don't know, they bloom more on old wood than they do new wood as far as oak leaves.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you're right about the endless summer.
Yeah.
The whole reason they call it endless summer is because it blooms on new wood and
old wood.
A little bit of, old wood for sure, but a little bit of new wood too. It's not as great. But if you are quick to cut the endless summer, you will see a little bit of rebloom on that, depending on our season.
The other thing that I will say about that is they're kind of heavy feeders. So if you're, because you can see how big the blooms are. So if you're wanting a better show, that second and maybe even third round of flushing, if we get it, I would definitely recommend a second fertilization. Do it in the spring and then do it again, maybe 2 months later. So that'll help a lot.
What you're saying is they don't actually make the summer last forever.
No, luckily, because this summer is seems like it's lasting forever.
Whew. Yesterday was brutal out here, y'all.
Yep.
Brutal.
Yep.
All right, and then Joan asks a follow-up to that. And another thing I'm curious about is those torch things people use to kill weeds, pros and cons. I have one.
I have one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think you got to be a little careful. You don't want to start a brush fire in your yard, but they definitely work.
They definitely work. You know what I've noticed? It works like really good application for this is like in your like gravel driveway.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good application because I literally torched a boxwood one time. Torched it. I was deciding to use this thing, and honestly, I didn't even mean to, David. I didn't mean to. This thing is like a flamethrower in your hand. You feel like you've got so much power, and you can just. I mean, I was just going nuts on these weeds, and you got too close.
You got caught up in the moment.
Got too close. I did, Adam.
You got caught up in the moment.
I did, and I got too close to a boxwood, and I fried half of it. Okay, fried it.
The power.
I didn't mean to.
The power went to your head.
Yes, it did.
You wouldn't be the first
careful.
one that suffered from pyromania.
Yeah, no, I know. But they are cool. They're super fun. But just be careful around your other ornamental plants, the ones you want to keep, because they get hot. They get real hot.
Children, dogs,
yes,
squirrels,
all of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But we used one, I guess, Ben, for the most part, who used to work here, did it on our lot. So our asphalt lot, we really wanted to get all the weeds off of here before we got the new asphalt down. And he was using that around the lot, and that thing worked like a champ. I mean, just torching them weeds.
It's
on
not
on the pavement.
On pavement, yes.
as far as long term. I don't know how effective it is. I mean, you'll get more weeds.
Well,
it's really great weed.
To me, all you're doing when you use that is rapidly speeding up what Roundup does.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's really what you're doing. So, and you're not using Roundup. So
Exactly.
if that's something you have qualms about, morally. So,
yeah.
Too much glyphosate in this world anyway.
Yeah.
That's a good plus.
That's a good plus.
All right, I've got one more question over here. Let's fly over to Serviceberry. Serviceberry tree is looking sad. Would fertilizer help right now?
Tell him, Adam.
Fired away, Adam Chapman.
Adam loves his Serviceberry.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to hurt it if you want to put some tree tone or something like that on it. Right now, the reason why it's sad, because mine are sad, is because it's been so freaking wet. They have all kinds of apple rust on them, and their leaves are falling, and it's just the way it's going to be this year. You kind of have to, roll with the punches. So my plan is this fall, since there is a lot of apple rust on it, and really you can't do a whole lot about that because there's so many cedars around.
Yeah.
You can I'm going to rake up all the leaves I can and just, try to spray what I can of them because mine are so big with neem oil or dormant oil, and hopefully next year it won't be as bad. So,
Adam, I've got a question for you. Do you find that, because, what is talked about horticulturally is that the cedar apple rust is this pathogen that passes back and forth between cedars and apple trees, obviously, but that it tends to happen on alternate years. So was it a pretty clean year for you last year?
Yeah, it was cleaner, yes, but I think you're correct on that as far as what's actually happening. with the pathogen, but it seems like the wetter the year it is, the worse it is.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's what it is. And this year, I think, is a heavy year, so it's even worse. So,
And if you're trying to identify it on a cedar tree compared to an apple tree that looks nothing alike, it looks
Correct.
like a.
yeah,
I can only describe it as a snot ball.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
gross.
well, it
almost
almost looks like a brain or something. It's a very
It's
strange
a slimy
shaped
brain.
Yes.
Gelatinous goo.
Like you blew up an amoeba.
Yes.
Y'all are really helping my stomach this morning, I can tell you.
Josh.
There's one thing that you got to look out for, though, and that's in the winter. There are the presence of galls
Yes.
that are left by that.
Yeah.
And if you remove some of those, that's going to reduce the chances of it coming back.
Correct.
Now, that's what releases the spores. And obviously, if it's on a big cedar tree, you can't get all the way up there unless you're crazy.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
Some people are, though. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for
and there's
that.
just cedar trees everywhere.
Exactly.
It's endemic.
They're ubiquitous throughout Middle Tennessee. So.
Yeah. And the rust is not a killer of your plant,
No,
okay?
no.
And let's be honest, Adam's been growing serviceberry for years, okay? It's not a tree that just stays picture perfect from start to finish.
Nope.
It just doesn't. I mean, honestly, is there any tree out there that just stays picture perfect from start to finish in Middle Tennessee? Usually not. Y'all go to the woods for a minute. Start looking around at your trees. Tell me how many spots you're going to see, how many holes you're going to see. We got insects, we got fungus, y'all. But it's okay. It's part of it. Adam lives with it. They come back every year. He makes us serviceberry muffins every year.
Yep.
Like, it's great.
Well, I did
okay?
I did a pound cake this year.
The pound cake. That was
that's what I
great.
did this year.
But I will say, if you want a serviceberry tree, where are you going to come, David?
Well, we kind of think it's a good idea to come to Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We're not a part-time nursery, and if you've ever been out here, you realize that's a true statement. This is all we do.
Yeah.
We do gardening, and we do all the aspects that tie into it to give you the best information, all the things you need, like Earth Mix Garden products, to give you the best success. And we have a selection that is unrivaled. So no matter what you're looking for, if you live here anywhere in the Middle Tennessee area, we invite you to come see us. And folks are very kind to come from a great distance to see us. And it's because of all those things. We have things to offer that others simply cannot match. And we are able to do that because we've been at it a while. This is our 93rd year of business. My grandmother started the business back in 1932. And because of that, we've just continued to build on that reputation and on the principles that she set forth. And really what it comes down to is gardening is very much a relationship type of situation. It's the relationships you have with plants, it's the relationships you have with each other, and it's the relationships that we have with you. And we're very appreciative of you placing that trust in us and giving us the opportunity to look at your unique landscape situation and help you to get the right plants in the right place the first time, because that's the way we do it at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. So if you could bring in photographs on your smartphone or a tablet and share those with us, we'll look at your particular situation and make suggestions to you, and we likely will have several options in any particular spot depending on what your conditions are. So that's the depth of inventory that we have here, whether it's sun, shade, if it's dry conditions, wet conditions. We've got solutions for all those. And the main thing to keep in mind is that, Josh, I've heard you frequently say if you fail to plan,
You plan to fail.
So everything works better with a plan. Just like everything else in life, plants are not cheap. And if you're going to spend the money on those, you can get really good value out of them by taking time to do that advanced planning and using the best things like Earth Mix Garden products. So we invite you to come out and see us. We're conveniently located 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike, which is just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, downtown Nashville, Nashville West, and even people from Smyrna make the trip out, Josh.
All over Rutherford County drives out here.
So come see us. We're open from 9 until 4 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We're closed on Sundays through the summer season. Now, you may also know I write this weekly newsletter now in conjunction with my daughter, Sarah. So when you come out, you're a Bates Rewards member, which all you got to do is just say, I want to be a Bates Rewards member. It doesn't cost you anything. You just a little bit of time to sign up, maybe 30 seconds. This week, we're offering 20% off of your entire purchase. Now, there are a couple of little exclusions. Japanese maples are excluded, gift cards, and deliveries. Outside of that, everything else is included. That's the entire line of earth mix products, all other trees and shrubs, ground covers, and you'll still continue to get the same level of expertise that we pride ourselves in and what you depend on us for. So come out and see us. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. Bates Nursery and Garden Center. So there you go. Thanks for giving us a moment to talk about that and to help you in your gardening efforts.
What's in room with Caroline?
Adam.
Or Adam.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we have here. I really appreciate what you guys did yesterday. You brought in some stuff that I've talked about many times, both on the show and on the lot here. So, behind me, right behind me, you'll see a plant we just talked about with a question we just had, which is serviceberry. So, I think this one is Autumn Brilliance, but I didn't look at the tag. So, they're all very alike.
Spring Flurry.
Okay, Spring Flurry. That's a good one. That's good fall color. Love the berries you get on them. Just a great native.
Keeps going up in the
I'm
Just a great, yeah. They barely got it in here.
Through the roof.
They barely got it in here. So just a great flowering tree, native. I love them. And right beside it, there is a Abelia. This is Edward Goucher. It's a pink blooming one, which is kind of rare. Most of them are white blooming. And it has, as you can kind of see, possibly a very cascading look to the branching structure. The one next to it, these three are Peach Perfection, which is a newer variety that actually just heard about this morning. I'm not even sure how long we've had these. To be honest with you.
First year I've seen it.
But
they're pretty though.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I thought they were Canyon Creek, which is another great variety. So
so good.
What's great about Abelia is they can grow in full sun and just hot environments.
You can buy it now and
we like
Abelia
to say
later.
Yes,
possibly.
that's it.
Yeah. And then we have a couple of blueberries up here as well, which are powder blue right behind me, and then pink lemonade over there. Both great varieties. I don't have powder blue. I have Tiff blue, which is a very, very similar variety. Rabbit eye gets pretty big, but if you got the space for it, it's great. And pink lemonade is probably my favorite. I know it's
such a good plant.
Yeah, and it tastes so good, and it's unusual because the berries are pink when they're ripe.
They never turn blue. Don't wait on them.
Turn blue. So, and then in front of me and Austin and everyone here, we have coneflowers. Lots of coneflowers, which I've come to appreciate a lot more since Rachel has put them along our fence line. And one of my favorites is Cheyenne Spirit, which I think most of these are. And what's great about it is it changes color. You'll have on the same plant, you'll have orange, you'll have this red color. It's so and anything in between. It's a beautiful flower. And then in front of those, we have Lacothaway, which is another native, mostly to East Tennessee. You really won't see it growing in the wild here, but really, really great for shade, part shade gardens, evergreen, looks like a laurel, but doesn't have the shot hole issues that laurels have.
Is auxiliaris, Adam, is it not?
I think so, yes, sir. It's just a great evergreen. Could be even used as a foundation planting in the shade if you wanted to.
It's an underused plant, I think.
It is. I think it's starting to catch on. It's starting to catch on.
Yep.
But I don't think there's anything in front of those. I can't tell for sure.
No, there's not.
Just be careful about your sun exposure with that Leucothaway.
Yeah, you don't want full
it doesn't,
sun.
No, it doesn't even hardly take part sun very well.
They don't want it.
So I brought in. They let me pick this one.
Yes.
You know, they did all these, which is awesome. But I picked this one because I just planted one of these this year. This is a what's called an Indian pink, which is also a native. It's a perennial.
Adam, there should be a little black switch just to the left of your hand to switch on the
Switch
on the left
spin.
side. Yeah,
Oh gosh.
lower left
Got
side.
it. Hey.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
That's
And the
nice
hot
spin.
plate is moving.
Yes. Now there we go. So and I planted one. I didn't plant this variety. I planted one called Ragin' Cajun, and it's still blooming. Like I think I planted it in late April, and it has not stopped blooming. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
So,
Wonderful.
Yeah. So if you've got a part shade spot, it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Talk about a probably hummingbird magnet. I
Oh,
just
and
look
it
at
is.
that and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
hummingbirds would just love
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's like fly here,
yep.
hot fresh nectar now.
Mhm. Well, for a native shade plant, like, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Like, constant color, red with some yellow in it. Like, good choice, Adam.
Yep.
Good
Thank you,
choice.
sir.
I understand that Caroline and Austin had a bit of Adam influence in their selection for the green room today.
Yes, that was the whole point.
Oh,
We
yeah.
knew Adam would be here, so we went with the plants that he'd
Yep.
like. And you know what's really funny? I was going to talk about these serviceberry. Y'all see how big these are, okay? You see how they're making this arch across the top? So Caroline went to look for some serviceberry yesterday, and I was with somebody or whatever, and then I came up and she was like, "Hey, I think we have some serviceberry over here," and she was like, "They're kind of big, but I think they'll fit."
Yep.
And I walked up and I looked at it and I said, "Caroline, not a chance those are fitting. They are bent over by like 6 feet." So I was like, y'all know how Caroline is. She measures things in bird baths. Well, her bird baths were wrong on this one, but you know what? We did it anyway.
Yeah, you
we
made
made
it.
the
You made
arches
it work.
Look,
Made
we
it
made
work.
the arches over the TV. It
it's
worked out
pretty,
great.
pretty cool.
So Caroline,
The literal green room this
Yes,
morning.
it is.
Over the sign.
And yes, and thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah, no
It was
problem.
awesome.
no problem.
Yep.
All right. Shall we get to a few more questions?
Sure.
Let's shall.
All
do
righty. That sounds good. Let's see. Sorry, I thought I'd have one queued up right now.
You forgot to remind us to be ready.
Uh-huh.
I know. Suggestions for a small tree for part sun to create more shade below.
Well,
A small tree.
small tree,
Four
sun.
part sun.
Four
Well,
part sun.
Part sun
dogwood is the obvious
create
answer.
more shade.
Dogwood's a great
below.
answer. You know, Japanese maple's a great
Yeah,
answer.
Japanese
I mean,
maple.
they're totally
Yeah.
fine, and they like some sun, but not just a blazing
Right,
environment if you can
right.
help it.
I
And they're
particularly like the Kuza dogwoods. I just think that they are less problematic.
They are. They're more
They
resistant.
flower a little
Yeah.
differently. That's a little later than the native dogwoods, but
Yeah.
they also have more spreading growth habits. So
Mhm.
that might be more workable.
Yeah.
and the leaf spot issues you just don't see near as much with Kusa as
No
you do with our
anthracnose.
natives. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't see it very
Yeah.
much. They stay way more clean.
Well, serviceberry.
I was about to say you were going to say serviceberry
could
for
work.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a small tree.
Yeah, it's kind of an understory tree,
Mhm.
but it'll take full sun. Another native one would be redbud.
Oh, yeah.
Be a good one.
So many cultivars are redbud
Yep.
now, y'all. Especially if you like purple foliage.
Yep.
Like there's a great,
Yep, lots of them.
Merlot.
Yep.
What's that? Black Pearl.
Yeah.
Burgundy
Burgundy
lace.
As well
No.
as the over
Burgundy Hearts, that's it. Yep.
Which is, I guess that one's still around a fair amount.
I think
Less
so.
so now, but
Forest pansy's still around.
Oh,
Forest
yeah,
Pansy.
Forest Pansy, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the original. That's the OG.
Yep, it is. Been around a while. But y'all, there's plenty of plants. Come on out, see us.
That was
20% off the trees.
a good amount of suggestions.
I
too.
mean, yeah, it was. Chinese fringe tree comes to mind. I
Yeah.
got one of those in my house. I absolutely love that plant, y'all. Love it. It's great. Growing machine.
All right, we got an echinacea question. It's a little, unfortunate, but it's just the year that we've had. Aster Yellows took out 7
Oh,
of my echinacea this week. Can I replant next year in the same spot?
you can, but do we want to try something different? Maybe. I mean, most Aster Yellows is mainly spread by insects. Okay, whether it be
Yeah.
leaf hoppers, thrips. There's a number of insects that carry this pathogen, and then a virus in the plant world is a killer. It just is. And echinacea is very susceptible to Aster Yellows, a lot like a lot of other perennial plants. I mean, there's a number of plants that can get that. Echinacea being one of the most. So I'm sorry this happened to you, especially 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Maybe let's explore a different plant for this area. Okay, I know we love. Adam loves his Echinacea. Rachel, his wife, loves them. Caroline loves them. Echinacea is great, but it is susceptible to that. So maybe we switch up.
Yeah, I could do some. I hesitate to say it to you, but rutabaga.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, it's just it's an obvious
easy
okay,
as
we
pie.
can switch to that, or you could go with maybe Saladego or
Hey, a little goldenrod, huh?
Goldenrod, something like that.
A little native.
Well,
Get the
that's why
finches.
we have so many different things to choose from. Potato. Everyone has a little different take on things. So if your palate is not particularly attuned to any one of those things, there are a whole lot of other choices. Of course, Bridget and Celeste down in the Perennial area can cover all that when you come out, because it's way too much to cover in the scope of a program.
Correct.
It really is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So seeing a message out there from Joyce Hooks.
Joyce!
Good to see you, Joyce, this morning. My foxglove, one of my few successes from seed, is blooming.
Hey,
and that was during your What's in Bloom segment. I just wanted to get that out there because that's
great.
That's an achievement that should be celebrated. Foxglove is no easy plant to start.
No, it's really not, and it's also just an absolutely beautiful plant.
Yeah, when
Joyce,
it's blooming.
when it's blooming. I mean, we get them in when they're blooming in the spring. They are gone the same day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people
last.
can't even help it.
Yeah.
They just picking it. I don't even know what it is.
Yep.
Picking it up, putting it on the cart. Good job, Joyce. Love you.
Love you, Joyce.
Uh-huh.
Well, we are out of questions right now.
Yeah.
All right. We're pretty much out of time, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we went over time a bit because we started late, but we really appreciate y'all sticking with us with the technical difficulties this morning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there was no shortage on that end, and thanks again to you, Tyler, for being the guy who was actually doing the plugging and unplugging and running back and forth, and I was the guy looking at the network, jumping from spot to spot because I'm old and I can't run that fast. But, I was able to do it through the network, and so between the two of us, but particularly on Tyler, we worked through it, and we were able to come out here and put this broadcast out again for yet another Saturday morning. We really appreciate everyone's patience and for you again this Saturday.
Apologies for the hacking and the gagging. Something's a mess here. So, but hey,
sometimes you just gotta,
you gotta puke.
Maybe not in the green room.
Not in the green
you gotta
room.
puke.
I don't know if Tyler was prepared with a waste receptacle.
Nope.
To deal with that.
There's no way I can get to it.
All righty.
So
folks.
anyway, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, and we look forward to being here again next week, and hopefully we will have worked through all these little issues. Josh, you want to take us out?
Yeah, we're out.
We're out.
I'm done.
We're done.